I know that the people who make the wonderful TV show SpongeBob SquarePants do not listen to this podcast, and they don't hear a single word that I'm saying. But the week after I say that I don't want them to show me disgusting things, they create one of the most disgusting episodes in years. There is some conspiracy stuff going on here, I swear. Alright, perfect podcast show, let's go! Good evening, YouTube! Welcome to the Perfect Podcast Show! Tonight, the SpongeBob reviews continue, plus a secret announcement. And now, here's your host. These are his favorite candy, and once you try them, they'll be yours too. Not sponsored, it's Pikachu Allspark.
Keep shouting to the listening buddy, go! Build it up! Absolutely nothing.
Welcome to the Perfect Podcast Show. I am your host, the king of YouTube, Pikachu Allspark. Yes, this is another brand new episode of the podcast. And I got something amazing coming your way on Friday for this YouTube channel. Keep an eye out. So anyways, let's get right into the main topic of this podcast, and that is a review of the newest episode of SpongeBob SquarePants, which premiered on Saturday at ass o'clock in the morning. I know I complain about that on every one of these reviews I do. I've only done one review so far, but I've complained about it at least twice. But it's something that I still don't like. Again, just do them on a weekday, in the middle of the day. That's what I like. And I'm still gonna wake up early though and watch these. I've stated all of this before. This is not information that I need to be saying. Let's get on to the review of the newest episode, The Ballad of Filthy Muck. Oh boy, this freaking episode. Man. So it starts off with Patrick smelling horrendous, as you can tell by the visible smell coming off of him. I don't like it when they do that in this show. I really don't. I really don't like that. He gets kicked out of the Krusty Krab and then decides to be disgusting. Even more so than usual. Honestly, this is just an absolutely gross episode, and you know, I was eating while watching it, so that's always fun. And, yeah. Not really my favorite episode of the season. It might be my least favorite episode of season 12 so far. I don't know, I did kind of like the song, though, you know. That song that played in the middle of the episode when SpongeBob and the trash creature that he thought was Patrick were jumping through garbage cans. You know, I thought that was a pretty good song. Okay, another thing, I saw the twist at the end of the episode coming, like a mile away. Like, as soon as this garbage creature that looked like Patrick did not talk, I knew that wasn't Patrick. I knew that was actually a being of pure garbage, you know. And it was really obvious by the not talking alone, because if it was Patrick, Patrick would have talked. And that would have been that. And, yeah. Although I did kind of find it funny how Patrick took a bath so he'd be allowed into the Krusty Krab again. I thought that was great. Another thing, I don't think SpongeBob should have been so eager to go along with all the trash and the filthiness. Why is this what SpongeBob is now? Why does he just stupidly plunge into the newest thing that other people are doing? We saw this in the Ink Lemonade episode as well, which a lot of people hated for good reason. And in that one, SpongeBob just blindly jumped onto Patrick's lemonade thing. In this one, he's blindly jumping into trash cans with someone he thinks is Patrick. I'm not a fan of this episode at all. I really didn't enjoy it. And, yeah, I think I've said all I have to say about the show. The episode, it wasn't a good one. It was it was just gross, man. It was just seriously gross. I don't like episodes like that, where they do gross things and it's supposed to be funny. Like, what is this, Sanjay and Craig? Remember that show? Because this is feeling a lot like that these days. Like, seriously. What are we doing? This is SpongeBob. SpongeBob is supposed to have standards. It's not some freaking... Like, it's not Sanjay and Craig. I used that already, but that's the only thing I can think of that's that unapologetically gross. And you shouldn't have to apologize for making art, but it's just a word I used. Anyways, I don't think SpongeBob should be this gross, is my point. But yeah, that was the episode. If I would have to rate this one out of 10, it would be a solid 1. And I would say, if you're gonna watch anything from this, don't. Find someone's YouTube video, the song portion, and listen to it without looking at the video. That's what I think of this. Now, do I think you should watch this? Absolutely not. But, you know, if you're into SpongeBob, and if you're like me and you want to see every single episode of the show at least once, which I have at this point, then go ahead and watch it. That is what I have to say about this absolutely horrendous episode of my favorite TV show ever. And that was the SpongeBob review this week. Some other things to talk about are absolutely nothing, but again, I did say okay, that absolutely nothing is a lie. I have one other thing. Something coming on Friday that I'm not going to go into the specifics of. But just remember, on Friday, January 25th, probably at some point in the middle of the day, on my YouTube channel, there will be a video. And if you know what I post on Fridays, then you'll probably know what this video is. And I gotta say, it's gonna be amazing. It's not even halfway finished yet on Monday night. Well, technically Tuesday morning, but still. It's 1:50 on a Tuesday morning. 1:50 a.m. I record these podcasts late. Anyways, yeah. So we've done the SpongeBob review, we've done the announcement, which I'm being vague about, but we'll talk more about in next week's episode of the podcast. And I guess there's not much else to talk about. We all know my feelings on the SpongeBob episode, and I don't really have anything else to express opinions about this week. We might see if there's something next week, though. I mean, who knows? Could be. And that was another episode of The Perfect Podcast Show. You can follow me on my second channel here on YouTube at Pikachu Allspark TV, and on my Twitter at Pikachu Allspark. And until next week, all hail the king.
Would you just calm down? Is there a problem? Let's get a pizza, and then we'll act like nothing ever happened. Calm down, it's only Tuesday. We'll get a pizza, and hope that no